Hey, it's Trixie. Welcome to the underground. I'm all excited. Before we get to all the bad stuff that's happening around the world, I want to talk about something happy. Taylor Swift's new album, The Life of a Showgirl. When I first heard it, my first impression was it's catchy, it's poppy, extremely poppy. And I was like, I really liked one song, The Fate of Ophelia. The Fate of Ophelia. Ooh, Reputation in a Good Mood. That's what this is, Reputation in a Good Mood. You know I like her angry and depressed. But I think this might be her best complete album where you can listen to every song. I like every song except two. And it's weird. I was looking forward to Father Figure. It's nothing like George Michael's Father Figure. That was a hard one anyway because that's such a good song. But it doesn't sound like anything like the song except the title. And I didn't care for it. And I didn't like Scott Jennings, okay, on CNN. He's a conservative commentator. And he was like, Taylor Swift's all done. Donald Trump is right. You know, he didn't like that she was talking about genitalia. Well, there's a couple things she talks about, you know, when the love opened my thighs and all this other stuff. But who cares? Does he like it when Trump talks dirty? I think there's something wrong with a man who likes another man who talks dirty. You're trying to tell us something, Scott? I'd rather have a woman talk dirty to me. Anyway, okay, let me go through it, okay? I know I want to get to the depressing stuff, but not yet. I do like The Life of a Showgirl. It's a duet with Sabrina Carpenter. And it's catchy. She's so good as a writer, you know, but she sounds good with her. Okay. This song cracks me up. Elizabeth Taylor. I was chanting it in the car. My roof is down. I'm screaming. It's something I was like riding my bike and people are laughing at me. Elizabeth Taylor, the way why did she come up with that song? I don't know, but I like the words. Hollywood hates me. You're only as hot as your last hit, baby. I love that. She's just such a great writer. The Fate of Ophelia was the first song I liked. If you never called for me, I would have drowned in melancholy. She's so good. And the song about Travis is Wish List. It's very, very cute. It's kind of like you want to be happy like she is. I'm not. But anyway, she's like, have a couple kids, fill up the block looking like you. Like she wants kids that look like him. We tell the world to leave us the F alone and they do. Which I never thought she wanted. But now she's like, it got me dreaming about a driveway with a basketball hoop. I mean, adorable. She's just so adorable. And then, ruin the friendship. Should have kissed you anyway. Should have kissed you anyway. Would have been my best mistake. Yeah, Kathy. Canceled. I like my friends canceled. Hysterical. At least you know exactly who your friends are. They're the ones with matching scars. She's just so good. Oh, I'm obsessed. See, it took me a couple listens. I mean, I like The Fate of Ophelia right away. And Elizabeth Taylor, just listen to it. It'll crack you up. It's so fun. Like, where did she come up with Elizabeth Taylor? Reputation in a Good Mood. That's what I call this. Actually romantic. She's picking on some guy who keeps, I don't know, talking bad about her or saying she's annoying. And she said, this is how she answers him. She's like, it's actually romantic all the time you spend on me. Like, she loves it. And you're flirting with me. And she takes it, you know, in a good way. It's like a toy chihuahua barking at me from a tiny purse. That's how much it hurts. The song Wood reminds me of something Ariana Grande would do. Honey is cute and catchy. Eldest daughter, but I'm not a bad bitch. And this isn't savage. She's just great at writing. I don't know what to say. She did turn down the halftime show. And I guess she couldn't meet the NFL's demands. You know how they want money and everything. You don't get paid for it. They want a cut of her earnings. She's not giving away her $1 billion. Sorry. Yeah, they want ticket sales, music sales. I don't think so. She doesn't need them. So they got their next step behind Taylor Swift was Bad Bunny. Okay. MAGA universe is having a conniption about people like, I don't know. I'm not going to say who. They want to leave the country because of Bad Bunny is playing at halftime. You know, I know he doesn't sing in English and I don't really like his music, but he's probably the most streamed artist. So it's not like he's not popular. I'm not fond of him, but I'm not going to leave the country over it. And they're saying, you know, not American and all this stuff. Well, Do you know how many non-Americans played the Super Bowl? Let me think. U2, they're not American. The Who, they're not American. The Rolling Stones, they're not American. Never heard anything about them. Probably because, I faced this when I DJ'd. Whenever I used to play like dance music, all the white guys would come in. And, my friends or anybody else, like the women, would never care when I played rock. But it's like that undertone of racism. That's what I have to say. It's kind of like that. Taylor Swift becomes the first female artist to pass 100 million in album sales. And I gotta say, I'm enjoying this album. I'm listening to it over and over until I get sick of it. Until I learn all the words. It's hard to sing like her, So I think we need to get the conservatives, like, spike their scotch and soda with happy pills. They need it. Don't you have anything else to be bothered by than Bad Bunny? I don't understand. They're putting ice there at the Super Bowl because, all his fans can afford, well, they are affording Super Bowl tickets, but all the illegals, that's what they're doing. How many people do you think they're going to arrest there? I don't know, but, he does have a huge Latino fan base. I guess he stopped his world tour in the United States because of that. He was afraid. One sick prick posted demonic Marxist, calling Bad Bunny a demonic Marxist. Do they even know what Marxist is? They probably heard Mark Levin say it on Fox. Benny Johnson, that weirdo that had Brendan Carr on, the FCC guy, the guy who loves Russia, Benny. He says, massive Trump hater, anti-ICE activist, no songs in English. Well, it's true. He doesn't really, Look, I don't like the guy, but I'm not going to go crazy over it. Could it be worse than last year's Super Bowl with Kendrick Lamar? I don't know. So let me just go back to I can't stop with Taylor Swift. She wrote the songs like on the last leg of her Eras tour when she was working like a dog and she was, running out of steam, I guess. But she said this kind of fueled her. And she said she was more proud of the Eras tour than anything else. And she wanted to make an album that she wasn't proud of. I don't understand that. You're not proud of this album? This is what happens when Taylor Swift sucks. She's wonderful. She can't make anything that sucks. Trump said the Democrats are the party of hate, evil, and Satan. That's the pot calling the kettle black. Are you kidding me? Half the country voted for the Antichrist for president. There's a poll now because he shut the government down. I'm sure the MAGAs are blaming the Dems. I kind of I'm willing to pay all this money for my health care because I'm sick of it. I'm actually sick of it. I want him to lose in the midterms so we can get back to some form of normalcy because I'm sick of it. So Trump and the GOP are taking more blame than the Dems for the shutdown. Who's in charge? He's in charge. He does everything by executive order and there's no courts, there's no Congress, there's no nothing. It's just him. So a lot of people aren't sure, which I don't understand the people that can't make up their minds. 23% of the population is kind of walking around in a daze. This is according to the Washington Post. 47% blame Trump. That's a pretty good amount. 30% blame the Democrats. What's the 30%? It's his people. It's his people. And I'm talking to people that are basically saying they're conservative and they didn't vote for this. So I'm having some hope. I did run into a crazy Trump supporter. Everything's gonna fall down and disassemble and wait till you see the new Gilead? Are you kidding me? Speaking of that, look what I just bought. It's not banned in Massachusetts, bitches. How do you like that? F you, Florida. I'm gonna buy all the banned books now. It's pretty good. Let's see if I can get through it. I don't really finish things because I'm ADHD. But so Governor of Maine, Janet Mills, calls Trump, listen to this, the current occupant of the White House. Hysterical. 71%, according to a Washington Post poll, want to extend the Affordable Care Act subsidies. It'll help me. 47% want to extend the subsidies, even if it continues. Yeah, even if the government shuts down. That's me. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm it's like 80 degrees and I can't breathe. This is according to The Hill. Okay, on camera. Representative Madeline Dean from Pennsylvania. Okay, talk about Trump addressing the generals. Remember how Hegseth called them all to call him gay and the military's fat and gay. And to Mike Johnson, she says, the president is unhinged. She sounded very scared. He is unwell. And he didn't really deny it. I'm sorry, guys. Let me hold on a second. I'm dying over here. So, and then Mike Johnson says, well, a lot of the Democrats on your side are too. I mean, he's got no dick. Sorry. Then she pointed to the military use of American cities as training grounds on his own people. And then what does he say? I didn't see it. Okay? Dickless. Spineless. Dickless. And she said, that's so dangerous. You know, I serve on the Foreign Affairs and Appropriations Committee. This is a collision of those two things. Our allies are looking elsewhere. Our enemies are laughing. Well, we already know that. Retired General Barry McCaffrey said on Morning Joe, I've been doing this a long time. That presentation at Quantico from the President and Secretary of Defense, Secretary of War, was one of the most bizarre and unsettling events I've ever encountered. The President sounded incoherent. Where's he been? He sounds like that every day. Exhausted. Rabidly partisan. Yeah. At times stupid. Meandering. Couldn't hold the thought together. To me, that's like who he is. Like every day. I don't see any difference. I'm sorry I keep choking, guys. Well, Mike Johnson was like, I can't control him. No, nobody can control him. No, not his parents. Nobody. Not you spineless wimp of a military. That Pete Hegseth talking to the greatest men who like worked their way up in the ranks. Trump's telling them to maybe walk out and get stripped of their stripes. And I guess I didn't know this. According to the Military of Times, almost 70% of active service members are overweight. I know. I mean, Pete Hegseth, though, like a Fox host, and he in the National Guard or something? I mean, he's the smallest man in the world. Like, I'm going to quote Taylor Swift, the smallest man in the world. Just looking at him yelling and like that, he just looks so, I don't know. Trump called Biden a DEI hire, an old white man. That's funny. That is actually, I got to give it to him. He is hysterical. Sign of the times, Maxwell House Coffee is changing, since no one can afford houses, changing their name to Maxwell Apartment. That doesn't sound good. It really doesn't. Of course, during this shutdown, Trump is blocking funds to all the states who didn't vote for him. Massachusetts and all these other Democratic states. You know what? He doesn't... Look, it doesn't matter. Everybody's saying it doesn't help us, but he's just shutting everything down anyway. You know, Mike Johnson's talking about hurricane season. Well, he doesn't believe he wants to tear down FEMA anyway. It's just an excuse. I don't care at this point. I don't care if the government's shut down. I don't care. That's where that's where I'm coming from. And I'm going to have to suffer. A cat escaped his carrier and went up to first class on an airplane. He went from last, way in the back, where all the poor people are, to first class. And then they brought him back. He didn't look too happy. I don't like this. Trump sticking his little hands into Microsoft, calling on Microsoft to fire former Biden official Lisa Monaco. Wasn't she on General Hospital? Chief of Global Affairs. Trump doesn't like her. He says she's corrupt and totally deranged. You should talk. Unbelievable. Okay. Eric Swalwell. I don't say this lightly, he says. When we escape this Trump hell, there needs to be a presidential crimes commission. It should be made up of independent prosecutors who look at those who enabled a corrupt president. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we get through this. I don't know if we're going to make it. Did you hear about that AI actress? All the creative agencies, like they want to rep her. I'm sorry, but... Well, no one's going to replace me. I don't really care. They're not going to replace me. Who the hell can be like me? Sorry. There's no such thing. You can't beat... You can get somebody that looks good. I mean, she's got a British accent. You can get her to act in a movie. But, you know, are you going to be like Jack Nicholson? I don't think so. So the White House now has Trump RX. He's It's a deal with Pfizer. Why do I keep coughing? What is wrong? You know what? I have to dust in here. It's exempt from his tariffs, of course, when it has to do with him for 3 years. You know, Mark Cuban has already done this where he cuts out the middleman. So he's offering Medicaid at a reduced price. They call it most favored nation price. I mean, not a bad idea, but I just don't want him benefiting from it. So these drugs are going to be made outside the U.S. So he makes an exception. It's just, there's no rhyme or reason to any one of his rules. Plus non-generic discounts, 50% to 85%. I'm not going to argue with this. This is pretty good. I mean, so we're getting ripped off now, huh? I find my way getting it cheaper. Nicole Kidman, Keith Urban, done. He's already got a chick. She's in the music business, a younger woman. This is according to Cosmopolitan. She doesn't look good. Nicole Kidman in Baby Girl, or is it Baby Girl? I don't know, her face. It's just, it's, you know, when you have too many Botox sessions or something, I'm growing old tomorrow, 60. I'll wait till I'm 70 and I start like really, whoosh, things get bad. I might just go and get the shots. I don't know. There may be a reason, let me just go quick, why men are so depressed, antisocial, and turn to Trump and guns. They can't find jobs. First time ever young men in college with college degrees are struggling to find work. Women are stomping all over them and thriving. Well, we are better. I hate to say it. I don't know, but you know, that's maybe why I saw those kids with Charlie Kirk shirts. The great replacement theory. It's not the people of color, it's the women. It's the vaginas taking over. Men with degrees are more likely to be jobless than women with the same education. Men's pay hasn't changed since 1979. Well, we've made less forever, guys. You know, like, what do we do? I don't complain about it. I just get more. You know, our pay keeps climbing. But, like, the thing is, we never got paid as much as men. You know? Men are going to have to start cleaning houses. They're going to have to start being Mr. Mom. Okay. And this was thehill.com. This is funny because this is bad for marriages and stuff because women traditionally marry up. No shit. No wonder. Oh my gosh. No wonder they screw blow up dolls. I don't know. Okay. This is kind of sad. Then I'm going to end it because I don't want to get too down. I'm pretty happy today. NPR poll. More Americans agree political violence may be necessary to right the country. That's terrible. 30% agree. 28% of Democrats are getting angrier. Used to be like 12%. Now it's 28%. That's pretty terrible. Of course, Republicans, they don't move as much. They got the guns. They're all ready to fire. They're at 31%. They used to be 28%. Independents, now 25%. We're at 18%. This is bad. This is really bad. Disagree, 70%. To 79%. Democrats, 71, 87%. GOP, 69, now it's 70%. Independents, 74, now it's 84. Everything's gone up. But that's good that they disagree that it's not, I don't really want to have violence, but it's like I couldn't talk to that Trump lady that was like, it's going to be wonderful. And I had to walk away from her. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. Trump is now embracing Project 2025 when he denounced it and said, I don't know what you're talking about. Russell Vogt, who's loving that the government shut down, he's going to tell him what to cut. Government, federal jobs. Vogt was the vice president of the Heritage Action for America, the sister organization to the Heritage Foundation, which wrote Project 2025. These people are all sprinkled through his presidency that are going to ruin the country and make it like this. It's a blueprint for a new America, which is expanding Trump's power. Just extreme positions on abortion. Deporting immigrants. Do you see? It's already happening. Women's right to vote. Minimizing Social Security, probably safety net. Okay, guys, sorry. I'm ending depressing. Wish me a happy birthday. This is the last working decade that I'm going to have because I'm not going to work into my 80s. I'm going to work into my 70s, but 60 to 70, my last full decade of work. And, it's going by fast. I can't believe I'm actually 60. I'll tell you about my celebration. I'm going to Mohegan Sun and going to a concert with the the warring lesbians. I'm taking my own car. All right. Love you guys. Bye.